Welcome to this week's Future Toolbox podcast. We explore the Z to A of life skills, where each letter stands for a topic and essential tool to help you get ahead in life. Meet Jules and Mark, creators of the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox, and enjoy their straightforward approach to creating growth mindsets that help people turn their dreams into realities. Whether you're a teen in education, a parent, a teacher, or part of a community group, start creating positive habits from today.
Welcome to this week's Z to A podcast with me, Jules and Mark from the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox.
Hello, everybody.
Hello there. Now, this is where we will pick a letter from the alphabet and discuss a topic on how you can use our tools and tips to improve your own personal development and mindset. So, Mark, let the listeners know what letter we've chosen this week.
So this week's letter is U, and it is for Unlock Your Potential. Now, carrying on this month's theme of reflection and self-improvement, Unlock Your Potential is fitting in really, really great because you are actually more capable than you think you are.
Very true. Everybody's more capable than you think you are. And the only person generally that holds you back from reaching your potential is you.
That is absolutely very true. In our book, Don't Get Your Neck Tattooed, The Z to A of Life, we actually have another U in there, which is a chapter, U is for You Can Do It. And this all focuses on stuff that we've been talking about recently, like using positive language instead of a negative, changing the I can'ts into I cans, and focusing on positive thinking and focusing on what you can do as opposed to what you can't do. So what is it that actually holds us back from achieving our goals?
There's usually many things that hold you back, and everybody's different. But one of the most common ones is the fear of failure. It could be that you've tried something and failed miserably once before, and because of that, you've got that deep-rooted belief that you can't do it, and that will hold you back from either attempting to try and achieve that thing again or even try and do something new. So a good way to maybe start looking at what's holding you back or how to unlock that real potential that you have got inside yourself is do the reflection about yourself. Look at what you think are your strengths and your weaknesses. But I would say don't just do it yourself. Maybe work on that with somebody that knows you really well, like your best friend or maybe your brother or your sister or your mum or your dad, because they will be able to see more strengths in you than what you think you have.
And I guess that's a way that we're quite successful in our business and in our life in general, is because we tend to focus on things that we're good at and look at things that we're maybe not so strong on and work out ways that we can move forward with those. So obviously you have strengths in some things that I don't, and I have strengths in some things that you don't.
Absolutely, and it makes us a very, very great partnership, because what I'm not very good at and you are, and vice versa, means that we've got a lot of skills between us to offer.
That is very true. We make a great team. So we're just talking about self-reflection or reflecting with somebody else that's quite close to you and looking at your strengths and things that you can improve on. So how do you actually practice self-reflection?
Self-reflection is a way of looking back at what you've achieved or not achieved over a period of time. Or if you've been doing a particular project for a number of months, once it's finished, again, reflect on where it went well, where it perhaps didn't go so well, and what you could improve or change. So it's a really valuable tool to help improve your potential in achieving something in the future.
I've just thought of a simple tool that we've shared in quite a lot of our workshops, which is the feedback sandwich. So you ask 3 questions. What did I do well? What could I have done better? And what was the best thing I did?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So I'll give an example of a school that we worked with quite recently. We actually did the feedback sandwich for them. We said, what did you do well? And the answer was that they engaged with us. They were really polite. They were really friendly. What could they have done better? The feedback to them was that they could have put their hand up and asked some more questions if they didn't understand things, rather than waiting for us to assume that they needed help. But what was the best thing they did? The best thing they did was the respect that they gave us on the day was amazing. So we had lots of really polite people, but they also come over at the end and said thank you and shook our hands and everything. So when we were able to do that feedback sandwich for them, that was a good piece of reflection. If you turn that round and do that yourself, you ask those 3 questions. What did I do well? What could I have done better? And what was the best thing I did? That's a good way of assessing where you are.
Brilliant. I love the feedback sandwich.
I like
It's
sandwiches in
making me
general. Yeah, I feel hungry now.
A little bit hungry. So yeah, reflect on what's possibly holding you back. And we said about the fear of failure, but another thing that holds you back is that self-doubt. I'm going to share a little story now of how self-doubt almost ruined my day yesterday. We turned up for a beautiful race that we'd entered. Mark did the 12K, I was doing the 5K. You went off, started your race, and I had 10 minutes before mine started. And whilst I was waiting, I had a little look round at my competition within this run and quickly realised that they all looked a lot younger, a lot fitter, more capable of running this 5K a lot faster than my little Julesy joggle that I was planning to do.
I love your Julesy joggles.
And that was it. I was going to bomb it out. I was like, I can't do this because I'm going to come last. For a few short seconds, that self-doubt almost took me out of that race. However, I used all of these tools that we tell you all about, and I started the race knowing that I will finish it, and that wonderful feeling of achievement at the end would be worth it even if I came last. So I did the race. And do you know what happened? Once we'd finished and we were checking all of the results, I actually came third in my age group.
That was fantastic. I'm so proud of you for that.
So the moral behind that is really don't stop yourself. Don't allow those negative feelings of failure or doubt to stop you doing something that you know that you're going to enjoy, and you never know what might be round the corner. There was no way I thought I was going to win a trophy yesterday, but there you go.
I know, and again, as I say, I was so proud of you. But the thing I noticed about that is even when the trophy presentation was happening, you still had that little niggle of self-doubt of wandering to the front thinking, is everybody checking me out because I've won this? Do I deserve this trophy? And the answer is absolutely yes, because you came third in your age category.
I did.
You were there on the day, and it doesn't matter who's in front of you, who's behind you, it is about your own race. The fact that you won it is absolutely amazing. But the bottom line is you did your absolute best on the day, and we started off by saying that you're more capable than you think. Now, if you'd have quit, you wouldn't have been capable at all yesterday. You'd have walked away, you'd have got home, you'd have thought, do you know, I really should have done that because I'd have enjoyed it.
It was a great feeling. It's about generating a bit of an unstoppable belief in yourself. So you've got this burning desire that's going to make you achieve all you set out to do. So, and it's that belief system that will help you to do this, or help you to unlock your potential.
Yeah, now this is where you can bring in the judge and the jury. And a few years ago, I worked with a psychologist who taught me this technique. It's absolutely amazing. So you imagine you're putting your thoughts on trial in a courtroom, and you have the judge and you have the jury. What you're basically asking yourself are these thoughts true? Is there any truth in the outcome of what I'm thinking? For example, let's take the I'm a runner versus I'm not really a runner. If I take Jules's joggles and you say, right, I'm not really a runner, I'm not very good at running, then that is your thought. So let's put them on trial. You put them in front of the judge and the jury, and you say, okay, so what is going to make that true? The first question I'd ask you is, can you run?
Well, of course I can run.
Of course you can run.
I tell you what, if a dog's chasing me, I can run.
You can run, yes. But I know that you can run more than a kilometre.
Yes.
I know you can run 2 kilometres.
Yes.
Yesterday you ran 5.
I did.
So the evidence is stacked in the favour that yes, you are a runner because you can run 5K.
Yes.
Now, if I said, are you a world Olympic champion, gold medalist runner, you're probably not going to be. I'm not a gold medalist runner either. So that's absolutely fine. But the question is, are you a runner? The next question is, are you a real runner? What's the definition of real and not real? You're not a fake runner, are you? Because you can't be a fake runner. You're either a runner or not. So therefore, you put that evidence forward, and the case is very, very quickly closed that, yes, you are a real runner because you've ran a race. What other evidence can we throw into the pot there? Well, if we wanted to reopen the case, you can say, well, I've won a trophy now.
Yes, I have. And actually, I've won the first trophy here in Lanzarote for both of us.
Yes, you have. Yeah. So I can flip that round and say, well, I haven't won a trophy. Am I a real runner?
Are you?
I've entered the race, I can run. So yes, therefore I am. But joking aside there, if we put our thoughts to the jury and you put the case forward, it is just about working out whether it is true or not. generally, most of the time, people will say something like, I can't draw, I can't write, I can't sing, I can't do whatever. And you find out that if you put this case forward, you can, because you are more capable than you believe.
You are, and it's not just your thoughts, it's more about that belief system, isn't it? So you're putting your beliefs on trial to say you believe that you're not good enough, when actually, if you do that reflection, do you know what? You are good enough. You are good enough to do that. You are good enough to have achieved and won that trophy. So yeah, when you're looking or thinking about your belief system within yourself and thinking about what it is that you want most in life, or maybe what kind of person do you want to be, unlocking your potential means turning your shoulds into musts and creating that ultimate belief in yourself. A good thing to maybe think about is use what's called the rocking chair method.
Oh, the rocking chair method. What's that? I've never heard of that before.
That always conjures up pictures of somebody in a rocking chair, maybe like knitting or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But it's nothing like that. Imagine yourself when you're old and grey and you're looking back on your life. What did you miss out on? What are your biggest regrets? These are your musts. Achieving them is the only way to know that you've actually lived that full achieving lifestyle and unlocking that potential for you to be able to do it. So don't be sitting in that rocking chair thinking, I should have done that. Your shoulds need to be your musts.
So I guess that's a little bit like seizing the opportunity while it arises. And again, we've been all guilty of this in our life, where sometimes an opportunity comes along and we think, oh no, I'm not going to do that. And then maybe 6 months, a year down the line, you think, oh, I should have done that. I missed out there. We're all going to do it. It's human nature. But yeah, it's seizing that moment and thinking, yes, now is the time.
So focus on your strengths that we talked about earlier, what you're really good at, how you can use that to help others, or how you can take advantage of them to make your life more successful.
This is a time maybe to focus on now as well, where people tend to procrastinate, put things off, or dare I say, leave it till the New Year's resolutions. But yeah, if you've got that opportunity, then seizing it now is about seizing it now, thinking, yes, I'm going to make that decision. Sometimes we're not great at making decisions, or sometimes we're not great at saying, let's go for it.
Yeah, focus on your priorities. Maybe limit your daily tasks to the ones that are really important for that day. That's something that we're quite good at now. We have our wonderful to-do list, but we'll look at it in the morning and say, right, what is it that's vital that we need to prioritise and focus on today?
Yeah, and picking one or two things is a lot better than picking 10.
Yes.
Because I find that I really, really struggle to focus on something if I've just got a list of things to do and think, well, there's 10 things. That's really exciting. That one's going to take me quite a long time. And then all of a sudden you're all over the place. Whereas if you look at the one main priority, what is the one thing I'm going to do today? That definitely works for me. I know it works for you as well.
Yeah, to unlock your potential, focus is a brilliant tool. So focus on your strengths, focus on today. Yesterday ended last night, that's gone. Focus on your priorities, protect your time, what you're going to achieve that day and those results. And then focus on your contribution. Be you, be bold, be what you want to be.
That sounds really, really good. And then you said yesterday's gone. And I guess that's where you reflect and then do the feedback sandwich, where you can say, what did I do well? What could I have done better? And what was the best thing I did? And then that'll take you forward to the next day. So you do your feedback sandwich at the end of every day.
Absolutely.
While you're eating your sandwich, maybe.
When you're eating your sandwich. But that's absolutely fantastic. So we've covered so far on reflecting and trying to get to know the person that you are, what's holding you back, and how to get rid of those negative beliefs, how to focus on your potential to be able to unlock it.
So I'm just going to throw another tip on the table there, which is just to keep investing in yourself, invest in your learning and your personal development. Obviously, you're listening to this wonderful podcast now, which is full of loads of tips, and you've listened to every other episode. But joking aside there, it is about looking at ways to expand your knowledge, to find out those little nuggets of information. So it could be reading books, it could be hooking up with a mentor, or working with a community around like-minded people. And again, in previous podcasts, we've talked about surrounding yourself with the people that believe in you and inspire you to be the best version of yourself. You mentioned earlier about doing a reflection together. We do that in our business. We also do that in our personal life. And getting somebody else on your side to help your learning development go forward is really good. So listen to this podcast with a friend. I think that's probably the best choice, isn't it?
You know, the more that you invest in your personal growth, the greater your potential becomes.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm going to take myself back to where I started being aware of personal development. The advice from successful people was to just engage in it for a few moments a day. So read 10 pages of a good book or listen to an audio. And these things might seem very futile. So if I read 10 pages of a book, I'm going to be really successful. Or if I listen to a 10-minute podcast, 20-minute podcast, that's going to make me really, really successful. But if you engage in that habit, that one little habit then will hook into another habit, which will hook into another habit, and all of a sudden you realise that your day is becoming very, very positive, and you become more inquisitive, you want to learn more, you want to expand more. So all these little tools and tips, if you just slot them in at the right moments of the day, it becomes an amazing jigsaw puzzle.
It does. And the other great thing about doing personal development is that you may listen to podcasts, you might read a book, and sometimes you think to yourself, oh, I've read that before, or I've heard that before. And that's brilliant, because sometimes you need to hear something more than once for it to stay in your mind and for you to develop those habits. So reading those 10 pages a day, listening to personal development podcasts or reading blogs is really essential to helping you achieve your potential, because you will listen to those messages in different formats and they will lodge in your brain and you'll start behaving that way.
That's great advice. And don't forget that growth takes time. So be kind to yourself on this journey and just build up those little steps towards achieving your big goals. So my final tip of the day is to unlock your phone or unlock your laptop with your password. Go to our website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk, and you can find loads of great tools and tips on there for personal development. You can also find us on social media for our daily tips. That is on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Fantastic videos on there. Plus we're on LinkedIn because we are
everywhere.
And we look forward to catching you for next week's episode. Have a great week. See you then.
Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us for the Z2A of Life Skills with Jules and Mark of the Future Toolbox. Don't forget to head over to their website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk, where you can find lots of free resources, plus a host of books in the store, as well as subscribing to the membership site. Follow Future Toolbox Instagram, TikTok and Facebook at Future Toolbox, and subscribe to their YouTube channel too.